this is Heidi, Stitching Faye, back with the Flosstube number 16, and today's date is March 3rd, 2023. I want to welcome all to my channel, welcome all the new subscribers, and welcome back all the followers that you guys tuning in and watching. I really do appreciate it, and thank you for your time. This is a video podcast about my hobby, cross stitching, where I share my stitches, finishes, works, past, present, future, and plans. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing, liking the channel. That will help with the algorithm. Today I want to talk about more springy stitching, which I have done. Well, I have some other seasons, but mostly spring stitching. I have some past stitches, only one actually I brought it out. I have new finishes, a lot of whips, and we'll go from there. That started, I'm just gonna jump right in and start showing some stitchings. Let me see. So my very first one is actually not stitched by me. The label it came out, I got this from eBay. The seller said it was a store sampler, that it was for the boutique or something, so they sold it, but I like the frame so much that I purchased it, and it is the spring one, March, April. Yeah, this is the spring one, a sampler from Prairie Schooler. So I like the way they framed it, and for the item they asked, it was cheaper than to frame it myself, so I purchased it. So this is the spring one. It was stitched on 32 count, looks like a khaki linen, and DMC floss, and doesn't have glass. So this is my fully finished spring one, not stitched by me, but it's mine. So this is my first one, but I do have I do have some, sorry for that noise, it hit the table. I have some finishes, so I'll start from there. Let me just before I start my finishes, I wanted to do some housekeeping, you call it. A few viewers noticed it in one of my finish shows. I showed Lizzie Kate at our house, and they noticed that I missed over here. Really, I missed the L, and they give me the heads up. I do want to thank you guys, because if I give this one and without fixing it would have been hard. So I just want to show you and thank the viewers that give me the heads up over here. It was a really easy fix. I just had really easy fix to fix the really. I just had to frog 3 letters and pull one line over, and I cannot believe it, I didn't see it. So I am really grateful for the viewers who gave me the heads up to that I was missing a letter. I actually have one more that I've been given heads up, but I haven't yet gone over it and fixed it. It's the Waxing Moon Christmas. I missed the S. So I fixed it, and I just want to let you guys know I do appreciate when I see and I can fix it and you guys give me heads up, because sometimes when you look at the stitching for a long time, it gets hard, you know. Our eye starts deciding it's okay and stuff, you know, like you don't notice small things. So if I have seen it, like my daughter catches a lot of my missing stitches and stuff, like with this the Christmas Queen. She noticed that one part of her skirt didn't have the flowers, and she's like, oh, it looks off. I went back and I checked, and what do you know, I missed it like 3 flowers on her skirt. My one of my finishes, not the biggest because I have a bigger finish, is the Blackbird Designs Strawberry Fields Forever. So over here, Strawberry Fields Forever, I headed this part, the house, gates, both, I think I had both of these gates. So all I did is the frame and finished inside motifs. I did make some changes, personalization. For one thing, I'll bring it closer. For one thing, what I noticed, the pattern, like over here, didn't have a flower. It was just empty space. So I added let me see, a flower here, actually here. A flower here. I added a flower here. What else? I think over here, it was halfway down the strawberry, but I had a space. I added the space. The date, I put it all together. It was like 2 numbers here, 2 numbers here. So it fit. Brenda Kay's book, I got the numbers from her book. I added that, and for the flowers inside, I did the Smirnoff stitches to give a little bit of a bump. Oh yeah, and over here, the called for colors look more gray tone, gray blue. I did it, it's still hand-dyed floss, but I subbed it to the blues, and I subbed over here. So this pattern, oops, sorry, half is stitch called for DMC, some are called for hand-dyed floss, and some are hand-dyed floss that are from my own stash. This is the Strawberry Fields, and this is the first one from this series that I have finished it, but I do have, it's from the Beatles. Blackbird Design did the Beatles tour thing. 1 second. So I do have, I think this is my next start. Eleanor Rugby. If you don't want to stitch that one, there's also Sweet Baby. It's in the same pattern book. I think I have to check which one first. This one is the first. So strawberry one is the second one in that series. And also, I think I'm missing the wide winding road. That one I'm missing. Fourth one is the Octopus Garden. And fifth one is the Yellow Submarine. These two I'm gonna stitch on this fabric. 32 count Twilight. I think the color is perfect. So half of this fabric is gonna go for this, half of it is gonna go for this. The only one I don't have is, I believe, is the third one. It's the wide winding road. You make what is it? Drum. Forget word. So yeah, this was my first finish. I wanted to have some finishes before I can start more, which never stop, but I don't know. That's how I decided this time to go. And I finally finished a Hands Across the Sea sampler. I'm really happy about it. I have started a lot of them, but because I have a lot of starts, sometimes I end up not finishing them because I have too many. So I decided, because I'm getting so many Hands Across the Sea, I'm kind of getting a little bit obsessed about their designs, so need to finish some of them. All right. Well, I should have shown the pattern first. Mary Snow, Hands Across the Sea sampler. It is stitched on 40 count cream Newcastle linen, DMC floss 1/2, 1/2 or over 40 count. So I had everything done, this side and the frame last time. All I had to do is this portion. So this is Mary Snow with the DMC floss. 321 looks so pretty. It's one of my favorite reds. DMC. It doesn't matter between all the colors. 321 red is very pretty. Oops. So Mary Snow, Hands Across the Sea samplers, and it's done. Her count, I don't think this is one of the big ones. 210, 167. 210 stitches wide, 167 height. So this is a medium size Hands Across the Sea. This is how much the size is. So not bad. And I was on a roll this time around. And after I finished Mary Snow, I actually picked up another stitching, and just non-spring. This is the February and March is the only time I can stitch spring, so I figured that if I don't stitch now, I'm not gonna be able to stitch later. And last time I showed you guys, I had this much done up to this row, and I was saying that I could not find the charm. A sweet friend saw it and she offered to give me one of her charms, and along with all the Just None charms. Thank you so much. I don't want to give her name. I did not ask her permission, but you know who you are, and I did message her. That was really sweet and kind thing you did. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And she came to my rescue, gave me the bunny, and we finished it. At the back of it, there's also another pattern. So since I had all the flosses out, I decided to finish both of them at once. Excuse me. So this one is the banner. I wanted to wait to make the banner, then start the video or the pillow, but it might take a while. I have to be realistic. I'm not good at committing to finishes. So this is Just None spring. The wording I wrote, I stitched 1/1 back stitched, and I'll go from the top. Our pretty bunny, the cheeks. This was the little bit, it needed a little bit stitching. So those birds have it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. I think it's 610, 612, 613 for the nest, plus back stitch, and 930 and 932 for the birds. Like 1 stitches of 932, 2 stitches of 930. So it was a little bit detailed work. I love the end look, but I was a little bit, I had to change, and I cannot travel the floss because it's a see-through fabric, which is the cold one. I should have said that. This is 28 count cream cassia linen. So I had to end the fabric floss and restart again for each stitch, but end result is so pretty. Look at those frogs and the eyes. I like Just None, this whole dainty, soft colors. Definitely, if I see her design, I can recognize it. She has her own style, and it's very recognizable, like shepherd's bush, sheep's. You can tell that's their design. So this is the banner, the big one. I also had it already out, the floss. So I decided to do the tiny pin cushion too. Back of the chart. This was the second complimentary chart that comes with it. So since I had the floss out, I decided to finish this one too. Maybe basically I need to do a pincushion. This is end of the fabric I had extra. Talk about using every inch of the fabric. So this is the spring bunny from Just Nan. No, pincushions, yeah. Spring bunny, Just Nan pincushion. That one is the bell pull. I do have several bell pulls, so I have to see which one. This one's, I think it's 2000 print. It went down. So the bell pull is, I think, out of print, so I have another kind, so I'm gonna use that one. And what I'm thinking, using between other Just Nan bell pulls too from the season, so I want to make it such that I can take it off and put another one. So I need some thinking about it. Now, okay, those are all the finishes I had. Those are all new except the Prairie Schooler, which I did not finish. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4 finishes and 1 fixing. I do want to show my starts. I had few small starts. And my first one is Plum Street Samplers. Yeah, I have to check now. Plum Street Samplers, Cardinal Keen. There's two kinds, with this color and this color. I use neither. I use my own hand-dyed floss I chose. And $36 count raw natural linen 2/2. I did the middle start, and the floss is hand-dyed floss. I think, did it ask for hand-dyed floss too? I used the moss from Gentle Arts. It's really variegated, that's why I liked it, so I changed it to moss. Those are all hand-dyed floss, but I chose my own colors. Love this red, I liked it. And the baby is also, the small bird is also the same color as this. And the big one is the male bird, is the cardinal, is the red one. And I'm gonna do brighter than either one. So over here, there's two colors. My cardinal is gonna be brighter than both of those samples. So Plum Street Samplers, Cardinal Keen was my first start. I think I worked 1 or 2 days on it. I just wanted to have some start. The next one is Bent Creek Rise and Shine. Rise and Shine, Bent Creek Classics. And this one I'm stitching 32 count Belfast linen, but I'm not sure the color. It feels a little bit darker than cream. I had it left over from another project. So this is where the chicken's gonna be, and I'm gonna have one more block like this side for the coffee cup. And the border, it was darker. I used the lighter hand-dyed floss, variegated, to match with my kitchen colors. And over here, it was the pattern says leave it empty, but I thought it looked half done. So I tried white and ecru. This is ecru, this is white, to see which one works. And I think my feeling is I'm gonna go with ecru and I'll take off the white. So I just want to see how it feels to see with the white, with the ecru, to give that checkers look. Otherwise, I felt like with the red alone, it felt half done, even if I finished the chicken and the cup. So I have a whole bunch of kitchen, food theme, coffee theme patterns. Slowly I want to start. I'm gonna do a video about all of those kind of patterns, and I want to start a few of them. That's why I started this, and for my kitchen. So then I'm gonna frame it one at a time. So I also started another one, small. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make a pillow out of it or frame it, because this is a set of it. Heartstring Samplery, Coffee Drinkers Confessions. So this one is really small, and I'm doing on 40 count Tahoe. Picture this plus with a called for hand-dyed floss. Is it clear? It's very pretty. And the reason I'm saying I'm not sure if I want to frame it or make a pillow is because this is not the only one. Let me show you guys. And I actually ordered one more because sets. I also have this one all set up with the floss. They are all using the same floss, so I'm using the same floss. And this is Say Coffee. If you can't remember my name, just say coffee, and I'll turn around. We are coffee drinkers in our house. And I have right now in my possession also first I drink coffee, then I do the things. I think this was the first one in her collection. And there was one with men and a woman, coffee drinkers confession from a Heartstring Samplers. It's on its way to me. I don't have it now, but I already ordered it. And the flosses are the same for all of them, so I'm using all the same colors. This one I couldn't find the hand dyed, so did the substitution. So all the colors, they all go together, and not one at a time, but I'm trying to make a set, then frame it. But this is the smallest one out of them all, so I'm not sure if I should make a pillow or should I make different kind of frames, one small, and make frame them together so they are not all big frames, big framed items. So I started with the smallest one to see how I feel, and I'll go from there. So I'm gonna start with the whole coffee set. So on and off, you guys gonna see, I have a few more coffee stitched items I can show. I'm trying to stitch a little bit more everyday stuff than holiday, because I noticed that I always gravitate to holiday, spring, summer, winter, autumn. And my samplers kind of get in between my everyday kitchen stuff, I like animal stitching and kitchen themes, so I'm trying to mix it up. So that's it. I also worked on my Valentine's Day start, A Heart Remembers, and my start was very small because at night I only work for an hour, and I only had the middle of this flower done. I'm stitching this on 40 count Tahoe. I guess I like Tahoe. I've been using it so far. I think I got a huge yard of it, and I've been using it for a whole bunch of my stitchings. But the fabric looks very pretty. First let me see. Can you guys see the modeling? There's a little bit dark blue, bluish. There's a little bit gold. Let me see. Anyways, so besides the middle of this flower, everything is new. And I'm stitching with the DMC, called for DMC floss. And A Heart Remembered by Blackbird Design. See over here the modeling, the blues and the golds. It's actually recording pretty well, the colors. It's pictured this plus 40 count Tahoe. And yeah, I think I only worked 2 more days on this one, not much. And then worked on this beautiful lady that has been waiting for quite a bit. Eve from La Dida. And I'm also working on this one. This is Cold for Silks, 40 count. I have a feeling this is Tahoe too. Today's a Tahoe day. Yeah, 40 count Tahoe. So last time I had this side. So I finished Eve's. Now she's done everything. And these plants over here, the bird, and I started these big red flowers. Finished quite a bit on the block. This is a block stitching, this part, and the tree trunk is black. So this is Eve, mother of all living things, from La Dida. This was the little bit color change stitching. Once it's done, the other ones are block stitching. Fun fact, this was one of my first sampler purchases that I did, and it came out what year? 2004. It's been a while. And I think I was one of the first, this was one of the first purchases. So if I did not get it 2004, probably I got it 2005 or 6. So yeah, she's been in my pile for a long time. I did studied her a few times, but wrong fabrics. So I worked on the Prairie Schooler, Bump in the Night. So I had these 2 lines done. I added the cat. This cat is not in my stitching. I take it out and I put the skeleton. So I have 1 cat, 1 skeleton. I am working on 32 count copper linen from Big Sty Work. Richel. Okay. Why did I yell? All right, so I added this guy. I had these 2. These 2 rows are done. And I am doing a little bit changes, like the orange moon, I turned to white. This was supposed to be black skeleton, I did white. That is closer to bone color. And the white is the B5200. The orange ones are hand-dyed floss. And the witch's faces I'm changing to hand-dyed green floss. So, Prairie Schooler, Bump in the Night. And we had quite a bit work on this one done. So what I'm thinking of doing it 1 motif at a time until I'm done. Oh, actually this was a new start too. I should have shown with the new starts. All right, it's okay. This pattern, I've been waiting and it was out of stock for a long time. Then finally, 123 Stitch sent me a notification and I jumped in and immediately got it. Noélie, Reflect de Soie, Noélie, 1847. Very pretty, small one. Dimensions are 123 by 176. And it's charted for DMC. This really reminds me of the, actually this is her real work. This is the original work, and it gives the story of her. My daughter read it and she gave me the history. I think she liked the name. Then she married a man named with the last name Noel. So I should make her read again. So this is the antique one, and her work is, I think, in this museum. Fun fact, except me, both of my kids speak French. My grandma spoke French. My dad spoke French. So one of Noel. So this is also a new start. And I have not yet shown. I'm starting a middle start. And I'm using 40 count. The Vicks Dyework Thin Roof. With the DMC floss 1/2. Such a pretty one, and I am actually being a little bit wasteful with this fabric. This fabric is gonna be used only this much. So, but I wanted to start and I didn't wanna count, so I did it this way. Let's see, I found. It's okay because I'm trying to use Vicks Dyework, the old dye Vicks Dyeworks. So I think it's okay this way. I get to use it and not to worry about it. I worked on, this is a free sampler, but I don't have a cover page. So I'm gonna say 2010 Ellen Morer Strath free Flowers of the Month sampler. I'm working on 32 count cream Belfast linen, and let me see, I did work for 2.5 flowers. I'm not sure if the sun is gonna make the see-through, that's why I'm putting the board behind it. So I worked these 3. I had the 3 leaves already done before Thanksgiving. After that, I'd let it go. So I finished this flower, which is the wild rose. Then I did aster, and I'm working poinsettia, but I got burned out, so I let it go. So this is the one I worked on. This one. This one was a little bit finicky. Finicky, what I mean is I had to change a lot of color change. Poinsettia is pretty easy flower, so I think it's gonna go fast. So I can tell from looking, fast, medium, very slow, fast, slowed me down, fast, slowed me down, fast, fast. And I think these 2, I'm not sure yet. So it depends how much color change, how black color it is. But I'm almost there. 1, 2, 3.5. So this is Ellen Morer Strath Flowers of the Month. Oh, I was gonna say it. I am doing 1/1. Actually, let me show you on this one. I'm doing 1/1 the names of the flowers, because through confession, I might not know all the names also. Like this one I did not know. Aster, violets, carnations, yeah, sweet pea, yeah, lily of the valley, yeah, larkspur, I don't know. I have to stitch to see which one it is. Poinsettia, yeah. So I don't know. And for the chart, this one, it didn't say daffodil. It said the botanical name. So I just put daffodil because that's how I know this flower. So worked on 3 of the flowers. And then I decided to try to finish, but I was not able to. Mirabilia. No, Nora Corbett, excuse me. Halloween Fairy. I have been trying to finish her, and first I ran out of the cranic. Then the Christmas came, and she's a fast stitch, but you know, beads and cranics, you have to be in the mood to stitch them. I had already stitched her, so I added the pumpkins and the cranic vines. I was gonna say veins, vines. And I'm working on this one. Then over here there's a moon with the, and I need to add the beads. I started adding the beads over here to see how it looks. It has a lot of beads. And I should say it, 32 count X-Jute design farm eggs. I believe this fabric is exclusive to Kitten Stitcher's store. There is one with a grandpa's sleeve, farm eggs. She has 3 variations of this kind of fabric, but I believe it's exclusive to Kitten Stitcher. I might be wrong, but that's how I understood that only this design fabric is sold in Kitten Stitcher store. So, but you guys can check it. She has an eBay, no, Etsy store, X-Jute design. She might be selling over there too. After that, I'm also working to finish Leeds House by Rosewood Manor. And I'm stitching this on 28 count Helix Lugana fabric. And I have half of the alphabet. So I worked this, I only had Y and Z. I worked on this area and I added the alphabet. Next time, I think it says 3 pages. Next time I'm gonna do this 2nd page, then 3rd page. That's how I decided. 3rd page also has this corner. Then 2 more pages, 2 or 3 more, 2 pages I think here. 2.5 pages. Some of the pages are not full pages. So this is the Leeds House by Rosewood Manor. And I'm working with the silky floss that is called for. Yeah, silky floss. 1, 2, 3, 6 colors. So it's pretty easy stitch. But as Rosewood Manor designs, if you guys are familiar, a lot of floss change. Like you cut and start. Melman just arrived, that's why I'm looking this way. I also put some work on my, let's see, I don't want to drop stuff. Elizabeth Isles from Scarlet Letter. I was a little bit miffed about it, and let me show you why, but I'm over it. Finished the first half of it, everything, and I went all the way down. So why am I upset about it? 3 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, 2. I like symmetry, and this thing doesn't have symmetry. It fits and it has 2 inches of fabric extra, but I would have loved it if I had 2.5 inches here and 2.5 inches here and would have been right in the middle. But that said, I finished everything. I have to do this specialty stitches. Which are those? Not the long arm stitches. Oh yeah, no, I did the long arm stitches, which is this one. Satin stitches. On top and the bottom, there's a satin stitches, but I think I'm gonna do last so they don't get squished. Satin stitches are like this. Because I'm using a Q-snap on sometimes hoops and sometimes hand, if it's a long row satin stitches, I leave it last so they don't get squished. So this is the end of the thing, sampler. This is the very last line. So Elizabeth Isles, Scarlet Letter. This is also, I'm hoping, will be finished this year. And let me see. Oh, I should have told you guys. I'm working on 38 count Legacy Linen Brewer's Melt. And the last whip that I worked on is Scarlett House Martha Evans 1879. This is really fast. So far it's going really fast, but it's not a small one. 260 by 258, almost a square. And I'm working 40 count Seraphim fabrics, old stationery. I like this fabric so much that I end up going back and ordering more of the same fabric. It really feels nice to work on the fabric. The way they dyed it feels really nice. And this was the first time I used the Seraphim fabric. So I want to show you guys this part. I changed the red, even though I'm working with DMC, I changed the red to Silks for You silk red one. And if you see the variegation, it has a little bit of a variegation. And I also changed the color of the tree to hand dyed floss. I thought it will have some variegation, but I don't think it does. Rest of it is called for DMC floss. And this is my end of my top, so I just need about half of it, the border, and I'm done. Then I can plug in all the motifs. I did add this part. Last time I had this pot, I added this with the birds and lions and monkeys. Oh, the fabric color shows very good. So this is the Scarlett House Martha Evans 1879, and I made quite a bit progress on it. So those are all my works I done stitching for the last 2.5 weeks. I wanted to show some plants that I pulled out, and I want to work on them because they've been around and waiting for me, and I always have something else to do, or I find a new pattern. So I started this, it might be 2019. It's Dimensions Gold Collection Petites Hydrangea. Yeah, no, it's Hydrangea in bloom. And I'm working on called for given fabric from the kit, which is 18 count cream Ida. And I think I have a stain on it. I need to wash this. Is that a fabric stain? So I need to wash it and finish stitching the pot and that's it. While I stitch, I usually do the back stitching, so most of the flower back stitching is done, but the leaves, I think I do need the long stitches, and the pot. And the background is a half stitch. So I am putting this outside to work on because it's been a while, it needs to be worked on. And so far I have not finished any petite dimensions. This would be my first finish. I have a lot of them, but for some reason I always assume it's gonna be easier, and I pick up the bigger one I stitch and I forget to stitch on smaller ones. This young lady is the oldest sorry for the moving the phone. Oldest Mirabilia I have. It's Mish Cherry Blossom by Nora Corbett, but it's a Mirabilia design. I started her 2019. I believe it was right before the pandemic. And I'm working on a cold for fabric, which is very see-through. It's the, I can read it instead of guessing it. 32 count Touch of Pink Linen by Wichelt. I was gonna finish her, work on her last time, but the mermaid took over my attention. She is, most of the stuff is stitched. She just needs a little bit over here skirt area and her umbrella. I have to put some beads and she will be done. With her, I was also thinking, I think it's a free pattern I'm allowed to show. I'm just gonna flash it. After I do the umbrella over here, I was thinking, one second. The cherries over here, cherry blossoms, this is a DMC free chart. There's cherries. I want to sprinkle cherry blossoms, not cherries, cherry blossoms all around her. So it shows that the umbrella she's holding and the flower petals are falling around her. That's what I'm thinking. If I'm not burned out by the time I finish doing the umbrellas and beads, I want to add at least like 3-4 cherry blossoms around her. So this is Miss Cherry Blossom from Mirabilia and 32 count, touch of pink, started 2019. She needs to be finished because if I want to start more mirrors, I need to finish some. And my other spring one that I stopped stitching because spring items I only stitch springtime. Sorry for the noise. Is Just Nan Motif Moustique. I started this on the 4th, 2022, April. And I do have quite a bit done. I have up to here, which is a little bit below the middle. So I'm like 55% done. If I can finish these flowers, yeah, I'm holding it right. So once I do it, I'm finishing everything. I have the beads too. It has lace on it, some charms, more beads, more accessories. So it's very pretty, detail stitching. But I've been in a Just Nan mood, so I think, oh, I should say it. This is 32 count, natural linen. Lately I've been in a mood for Just Nan stitching, so I thought like I should finish my older ones before I start another one. Although the spring Just Nan that I showed, it started and finished a month ago, but this poor thing's been waiting for a while. And my last but not least planned one that I planned to stitch last year, for some reason I didn't feel like it, is this one, Glendon Place. It's Until We Meet Again. This one is a memorial piece for my mom. So I try to stitch at least once or twice a year, but this year I was just incapable of doing it. But I'm gonna finish it. So far I have this much. And I do with the seed, I stitch with the seed beads and everything. And they're black stitches. To be honest with you, it's not a hard design to stitch. I think I just need to just assign a date. Maybe I'll do, like I heard some stitchers, they do it beginning of the month stitching, 7-day stitching. I heard that 25 minutes a day stitching. There's not a lot of ways people try to assign dates to stitch, so the items that they don't get a lot of love, you stitch on them. I might just do that for that piece because I do want to finish it, but for some reason it doesn't work. So those are all my plans, whips, works in progress, and finishes. So I wanted to show some patterns that I have that I might start, or they are spring feeling. This one I've been wanting to start. I'm waiting for the winter to finish, but I might just break my rule and start. Rosewood Manor, Spring Quaker. I have everything. I have the fabric and I have the Valdani floss. So I think this is one of those patterns that it's ready. I just need to find 9 or 12 needles because I thread them individually. This pattern changes a lot, the colors, like 2 stitches of one color, 1 stitches of one color. So that's on my radar. This one has been ready and I was waiting for the fabric and I received it. I know it says greenish, but I think this blue purple color will work for her, and it's a spring color. I should say Nora Corbett June bag 310, pattern NC 310. I like all these colors. I think, see, it has some purples on it, and her wing area has purples. I think it will work. I have all the code for DMC colors, and it says 1 charm, the star, and 1 bead. So this is a fast stitch, and I seen a Flosstube stitch. I like her. I hope she makes more of videos. I haven't seen it for a while. No, 2 Flosstubers I seen it stitching it. What are the name? Sorry, Kitsy Whips, Kitsy. I'll link her channel below, and also It's Just Stitching. Oh my God, I should write down stuff. Let's blame it on my accent. No, I just forgot stuff. All right, I'm sorry guys. I don't write down. I just turn on my phone and I don't edit. I just turn on my phone and I start typing. And when I do that, a lot of times from the nerves, because I get distracted, my neighbors are walking around, and I forget names and numbers or things. So I apologize. Please forgive me. And this is Dreaming of Tulips. I'm right now stitching Dreaming of Sunflowers. So, but I have this one. Dreaming of Sunflowers was charted with DMC. Dreaming of Tulips is all charted with the hand-dyed floss, Wix dye work floss. But my thing is, I had a fabric with it, which is called 4-1 32 count antique white linen. But during the Dreaming of the Sunflowers was too big, so I had to restart on a 40 count. Now I wanna buy a white fabric, 40 count, but yeah, 40 count white fabric linen. That was a long explanation why I haven't started yet. Okay, this is Just Another Nun again. Like I said, I'm in a Just Another Nun kick right now, and Leave It Green. I don't think this is out of print, but I haven't seen a lot of places stitched or sold, but I got it recently, regular price. Leave It Green, and it does. I do have a DMC, and and I don't think it's the code for fabric, but I chose for it is picture this plus jade with beads. It has a tiny bird, a blue bird and stuff. I thought it would look nice, and it's springy. Leave the earth a little serener. It has birds, bunnies. Yeah, it is spring. So this is on my radar to stitch, but I'm trying to finish the mystic motif before I start this one. Oh yeah, I noticed it stitching Sarah's spot. She started it. I've been stitching on and off on this one. I saw her video and she was stitching on it. She started it, I believe, here, upper left corner. So I'm going this way. After seeing her video, I decided I wanted to work on this one more. I might join her stitch along. I think there is a stitch along going on. I'm not really good at it, but I believe there is several stitch alongs going on. I live under the rock. I don't know most of the stuff. So I'm stitching with the hand-dyed floss, but I'm using my own hand-dyed floss. And some called for, and 1 or 2 DMC. Yeah, 2 DMCs. So I have 1, 2, 3, 3.5 flowers. I have 1, 2, 3.5 of these. I just need these 2, then go up. Also, it says satin stitches here, so I'm not sure if I want to do the satin stitches right now. This one is not a reproduction sampler, so I think I can personalize it. I believe the designer did it for her kids' wedding. Oh yeah, this one. I've been wanting to start this one for a while. It's a Rosewood Manor. No, Glenwood Place. Eggs around, eggs a la round. And now I chose 28 count stars sapphire jobelin. Okay, this is the color. It's greenish, like Easter green. It has so much beads and specialty cranings. This is all, let me show you guys. All the beads and cranings and one, I think it's Gloriana silk, I don't know, it's a silk for this. I got this kit, I'm not sure if she has it now, but I got like this. And also Sir Thomas kit. I got it from Cobweb Corner. She's an online shop and I do like her shop. She's pretty good at it and sends it on time. I've been shopping from her online store and so I like it. So after that, I was looking around and I found, I was on Pinterest at night, which you should not do. And I found this sampler. This is from, I printed myself. It's a digital PDF pattern. I got it from Australia. The designer is not from US. So it is Northumberland and Sampler House, IA 1812, a reproduction antique sampler. I just, it didn't have a cover page, my printout. And this is the antique sampler. I have all the DMC floss for this, but you guys see the birds over here? This is a production sampler, by the way. It's all charged with the DMC. So what I'm doing it, even though I have the DMC for the birds, I wanna zhuzh it up maybe. What I mean is use a little bit light variegated hand-dyed floss for these guys. I like their shape, so I'm looking for another sampler. I'm gonna get the Blackbird one. I'm trying to find another sampler that has like this kind of antique looking birds. Something about the way, I think that's why I like the Blackbird designs, because their birds look like this. So this is a must start, but I'm waiting for a fabric. I ordered from 123 Stitch Ale, 36 count ale. I'm waiting for the ale to come so I can start. I also have this one. Again, I have the DMCs, but I want to show the other side too, but it has a chart. It has a smaller chart too, and DMCs. So what I want to do, like for the whales, dolphins, I'm trying to make it hand-dyed floss and also change the fabric to hand-dyed floss to modernize it. But I've been eyeing this chart, then it went out of print. Then they print it again, and every time I was like, oh, I'll get it next time, and I end up not getting it. So finally I decided I'll get it and I'll start. Some charts that I have it, I'm gonna stitch someday, but not today. Blackbird design, bountiful harvest. I have the honeysuckle manor, but this is the one I'm aiming for. It is so pretty, and I'm not sure why I have not started, and it says all the spring colors, and I think I might have to use the Tahoe fabric for this one because it's close to the Hearts Remembered. If I'm gonna frame it, I want to frame them together. And from this book, I can use the ale because I got a whole yard of it, I think. I can use ale for this because the white flowers will show on it. And it's not a big one, 142 by 123. This one was the release last year's Blackbird design, violets, blue. Again, April is, these color flowers are April flowers, so I think this is a spring pattern. I got it, but because it was close to Halloween, Thanksgiving, so I wanted to stitch more autumny color. I ended up not stitching them. I have a very old pattern from I was gonna say Shepherd's Bush, the Prairie Schooler. I even started it, but I think, I don't know, it's an old start. I left it in my pattern sleeve. This is the hard copy that I had it. I should say Woodland Sampling from the Prairie Schooler. Those are my old copies. They are yellowish. They are old. Johnny Appleseed. What I'm trying to do is with these older patterns, use the hand-dyed fabrics or substitute some hand-dyed flosses and modernize it. Johnny Appleseed. I've been wanting to stitch these 4 seasons and change them. And I even bought twice this copy because I didn't know I had it, but I have not stitched yet. Which one is Prairie Seasons? And I can stitch each season its own charts, so something to think about it. I have this one, Garden Samplers, again, Spring Garden. And I do have the hard copy. The regular copies like this right now is available 1 to 3 stitch. They have the rights and they sell them, so they are not out of print, even though I have this hard copy paper. The patterns are available. This is another one, hard birds. This one I wanted to stitch first. I wanted to stitch all of them in one page like I am doing with the flowers. Then I'm like, how many of big pictures do I need? So I think I'm gonna do individually, like a bowl, make it in a bowl for spring. I should say Prairie Birds. I have Spring Samplers. Oh, the bunny is from there, here. See? I just realized that I have the pattern, so I should write it down somewhere so I don't start stitching this one. So I do have this one. I need to find a khaki, 32 count khaki fabric to stitch this to. I'm discovering things while I'm showing you guys stuff. Garden Birds. Aren't those cute to stitch like around, I don't know, make some kind of ornament. I was even thinking of doing it on a perforated paper and cut it round, something like that. I guess I was into those ornament things. Garden Beasties. Again, Prairie Schooler. This is so cute if you use a variegated floss. And I have really old, I'm gonna toss this away, garden blooms. And most likely I'm gonna start on 40 count, but like I even tried it. Yeah, because sometimes I get excited, I start, then I see something else, squirrel. All right, I'll show a few more patterns, then I will say bye to you guys for today. It's Blackbird Design, Blackbird Design Eastern Parade. This was out of print and it came back. I was happy. Then once I got the pattern, I was so happy that I did not stitch it. I love this one. Hainzet Garden, Charm Gardens. I do have the charms. I don't even know whose is this. Oh, Ellen Morar Strath. It's the same designer as I have the flowers. How about that? The ladybug with the lily of the valley flowers. I pulled this out because of the Lucky Cat Buttercup Designs. They have the monthlies. I guess this is the March, April. I got the Lizzie Kate, Cheek Party, and I have this whole set. I don't have the whole set. I should have shown you guys once I have it. Blackbird Design. It's the July, May, April. That's the only one is the spring one, and it says 3 of them. February. I should have shown last video. December. There's 2 more over here. And October. And there's 2 more over here. I have this one, Lizzie Kate, Friendship 2. I have another one, Lizzie Kate with 4 seasons, like the Prairie Schooler. Hainzet. Yes, I do have the charms. Home Sweet Home. I have, with I needle and thread, Jelly Bean Jubilee. This is more of the Eastery. I got this one. I have stitched one. I'm not sure why is this with my patterns. It's the Country Cottage Needleworks. I'll show you guys next time the finish. And Mojo Stitches. Let's see. Heartstring Samplery. And last but not least, Hello Spring by Plum Street Samplers. Okay, that's all I'm gonna show you guys today. And it's been an hour. I thank you so much for watching. And if you guys like what you see and you wanna see more of my videos, or you wanna see this kind of content, please like, share. That helps the algorithm to suggest you more of my videos and videos of others Flosstubers that do this kind of content. I would really appreciate it, and thank you so much for your kind supports, your likes and comments. I am reading every one of them. I really do appreciate all of your love, support, and your time watching it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful stitchy week, 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll see you soon. Bye.